Your laptop has one port. Your desk has 8 things that need to plug into it. And somehow most people are still making this problem way more complicated and way more expensive than it needs to be. I spent the last 3 weeks plugging, unplugging, stress testing, and overloading 5 docking stations across 3 different laptops to find out which ones actually deserve your money. And what I found surprised me, because the most expensive option on this list isn't the best one. And the cheapest one punches so far above its weight class that it almost felt like a mistake. Here's what you need to know before we dive in. Not all docking stations are created equal. Some will bottleneck your transfer speeds. Some will fry your peripherals with unstable power delivery. Some just stop working the moment you connect a second monitor. I'm going to save you from all of that. We've got 5 picks today: budget, value, Thunderbolt 5, raw power, and the overall best. Stick around to the end because the number 1 pick has a feature that I genuinely did not expect at its price point. Let's get into it. Number 5, Anker 555 8-in-1 hub. Best budget pick. Let's start with the elephant in the room. Most people don't need a $300 docking station. They need something that works, costs under $50, and doesn't catch fire. The Anker 555 is exactly that. And it's one of the best-selling hubs on the market for a reason. You're getting 8 ports in a package that fits in your palm. USB-C with 100-watt pass-through charging, 4K HDMI, 2 USB-A 3.0 ports, SD and micro SD card readers, and a USB-C data port. That covers 90% of what the average person needs on a daily basis. I ran it with a 4K monitor, a mechanical keyboard, a mouse, and an external SSD simultaneously. 0 hiccups. Here's the reality check though. This is a hub, not a true docking station. There's no Ethernet port, which is a deal breaker for anyone working from home on video calls. The HDMI tops out at 4K 30 Hz, not 60 Hz, which you will notice if you're doing any kind of creative work or gaming. And the USB-A ports, while fast, aren't going to saturate a high-end SSD. But at around $40 to $50, this thing is almost unfairly good for the price. If you're a student, a casual user, or just need a travel-friendly hub that gets the job done, the Anker 555 is the move. Don't overspend when you don't have to. Number 4, Razer USB 4 dock. Best value without Thunderbolt. Now we're stepping into proper docking station territory. The Razer USB 4 dock sits in that sweet spot where you get near Thunderbolt performance without the Thunderbolt price tag. And if you're on a Windows machine that doesn't support Thunderbolt, this thing is a genuine revelation. USB 4 Gen 3 delivers up to 40 gigabits per second, the same theoretical bandwidth as Thunderbolt 4. In practice, I was hitting 3.8 to 3.9 gigabytes per second on file transfers to a fast NVMe enclosure. That is fast. Properly fast. The dock supports dual 4K 60 Hz monitors, which is where most people's setups live in 2025. I ran 2 4K displays, a webcam, an audio interface, and a wired keyboard and mouse with absolutely 0 performance degradation. Power delivery hits 90 watts, which is enough to charge most laptops at full speed. Though if you're rocking a high-performance gaming laptop or a MacBook Pro 16-inch under load, you might feel it falling slightly short. The design is classic Razer. Matte black, clean, with a small LED strip that you can turn off if you hate RGB. Build quality is excellent. It feels premium in hand without feeling unnecessarily chunky on your desk. The catch? No SD card slot, which Razer somehow decided wasn't worth including. Photographers and video editors will find that frustrating. And at around $200, it's not exactly cheap, but for Windows users who want USB 4 performance at a price that doesn't make them cry, this is the dock to beat. Number 3, Plugable TBT-UDT3. Best Thunderbolt 5 dock. Here's where things get genuinely exciting. Thunderbolt 5 is new. Most people haven't even seen hardware that supports it yet. But if you're running a late 2024 or 2025 MacBook Pro, a new Dell XPS, or any machine with a TB5 port, the Plugable TBT-UDT3 will make your jaw drop. We're talking 120 gigabits per second of bandwidth. That's triple what Thunderbolt 4 offers. What does that mean in practice? You can run a single 8K display or 3 4K 144 Hz monitors simultaneously without breaking a sweat. I tested it with dual 4K 144 Hz monitors and an ultra-wide, and everything ran perfectly at full refresh rates with no frame drops. The port selection is excellent. Thunderbolt 5 downstream, multiple USB-A and USB-C ports, 2.5 gigabit Ethernet, SD card slot, 3.5mm audio jack, and 140-watt power delivery that will charge even the most power-hungry laptops at full speed. Here's the honest truth about this dock. You will not use 80% of its capability unless you're a power user. Video editors, 3D artists, software developers running multiple high-resolution displays. This dock was built for you. For everyone else, you're paying for headroom you'll never touch. Price sits around $280 to $300. It's not cheap, but for what it delivers on a TB5 machine, it's completely justified. Future-proof is an overused word in tech, but this dock actually earns it. Number 2. Anker Prime Charging Docking Station. Best for raw power. Most docking stations charge your laptop. The Anker Prime doesn't just charge it, it practically throws electricity at it. This thing delivers 180 watts of total power output, with 140 watts available to your host laptop alone. I connected it to a MacBook Pro 16-inch running Final Cut Pro with an external GPU on the side, and it kept the battery topped up the entire time. That almost never happens. But here's what makes the Anker Prime genuinely clever. It has a companion app. You can monitor real-time power distribution across every port from your phone, set charging priorities, and get alerts when power delivery shifts. That sounds like a gimmick until you're mid-project and your dock is intelligently managing which devices get priority power. Then it feels essential. The port selection covers everything. Dual 4K 60Hz HDMI, 2 USB-C, 3 USB-A Ethernet, and an SD card slot. There's also a 100-watt USB-C port on the front for quick charging phones and accessories without reaching around the back. The trade-offs are that it's big. This is not a dock you're sliding into a bag. It lives on your desk permanently. The size is the cost of that power output, and at around $250, it's a premium purchase. But if your workflow demands serious power delivery and you've ever had a dock fail to keep your laptop charged under load, the Anker Prime solves that problem definitively. Number 1. CalDigit TS4. Best overall. I'll be honest with you. I went into this testing fully expecting one of the newer docks to dethrone the CalDigit TS4. It didn't happen. 3 weeks of testing, 5 docks, and this thing is still the one I'd spend my own money on. 18 ports. 18. Thunderbolt 4, 3 USB-A, 3 USB-C, 2 DisplayPort, HDMI, SD card, microSD, Ethernet, 3.5mm front audio, optical audio out. It's all here. The 98-watt host charging is enough for the vast majority of laptops, and the build quality is frankly in a different league from everything else I tested. The aluminum body doesn't flex, doesn't creak, and doesn't run hot even after 8 hours of continuous use. What sets it apart from every other dock on this list is stability. I could not make this thing misbehave. I ran dual 4K 60Hz monitors, a 2.5 gigabit Ethernet connection, a USB audio interface, an external NVMe, a webcam, and a charging phone simultaneously. The TS4 handled all of it without a single dropped connection, display flicker, or USB dropout. Other docks on this list showed occasional instability under that kind of load. The TS4 didn't flinch. The one legitimate criticism? It's around $300 and it doesn't support Thunderbolt 5. If you need TB5 bandwidth today, the Plugable is your answer. But for Thunderbolt 4 machines, and that's still most of the laptops in the world, the CalDigit TS4 is simply the best all-around dock money can buy.